Hello, friends. Welcome. Salo Mason Happy Home. Soon to be Salo Happy Home. Oh, counting down the days. 5 days. So excited. you know, I think it's time we do another episode of Super Aging. Now, I couldn't find the last episode of Super Aging I did, so I'm not 100% sure where we left off on that. So if I repeat myself and it looks like I'm dealing with age related dementia, not to worry. Not to worry, which I know you won't anyway. I don't. Well, I do worry, but not about that. Because a lot of episodes and stuff, things get lost in the shuffle. So, what I want to talk to you about today is weight loss and how it pertains to super aging. When we are at or below the desired healthy weight for our age, we will look better, feel better, have more energy, be more functional. Our brains will be healthier and sharper. We will look more youthful. And to accomplish that, weight loss, there's many ways that you can lose weight. There's a lot of gimmicks, there's a lot of programs, there's a lot of apps and different things. And I want to talk to you today about the different things that I combine. Now, I want to do some episodes on super aging about supplements where we do a little bit of a deep dive into supplements, and another one where we do a little bit of deep dive into the devices that we use, the different types of workouts and energy building you can do. There's all kinds of things, but basically, I have my routine in place. And since Thanksgiving, because I really ramped things up around Thanksgiving because I wanted to see if I could actually be someone that loses weight during the holidays as opposed to gaining it. And because of my upcoming nuptials, I wanted to be, as slender as I could. And I got to tell you, my clothes are hanging on me. This shirt is actually right down to above my knees when it was at my waist last year. And since Thanksgiving, because I've lost more weight than just what I've lost since Thanksgiving, but I started tracking it more meaningfully on Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving. I've lost 19 pounds, and I'm hoping to lose a couple more, before the big day. But how I have accomplished this is I did it the old-fashioned way. I don't have a GLP-1s from a doctor. I can't afford that nonsense. It's not necessary. Unless you are morbidly obese and you do need to lose a lot of weight really quick just to get yourself going, I can understand why people would do that. And I don't judge anybody, but I know that people fall for gimmicks. They fall prey to miraculous supplements that people talk about all the time. And what I do is a combination of things. Now, I do some form of exercise every single solitary day, whether it be stairs, stationary bike, treadmill, walking to Walmart. That's horrendous. That's probably easy 6 miles right there, right? Working out in the yard or lifting weights, doing the Thigh Master. And if you have a Thigh Master, keep it upstairs by your couch, because that is a great way to get some passive workout in and strength training in, especially if you're into muscle building like I am. While you're watching TV. Put it between your thighs. You can get 300 to 500 reps in. You won't even know it. And it's excellent for upper body because you can hold it here and do this, or you can hold it out here or hold it up here, and you can get upper body in there as well. Because remember, all it is a simple concept of resistance. And resistance training is where you use your own body's mass and weight against itself. So instead of adding that weight, you're just using your weight, and you got to force yourself with those Thigh Masters. So one of the things I do is I keep that silly Thigh Master upstairs on the couch, and I get 300 to 500 reps in every night, and I get 3 to, maybe 250, 300 on the upper arms there. And I do that in the evening while we're sitting there watching TV. Instead of grabbing snacks, instead of just vegetating and being still, I'm grabbing the Thigh Master. And no matter what workout you do or how busy you were throughout the day, you can still use that Thigh Master because you're going to feel it and you're going to see results. but it's a very good passive way to get some workout in, some resistance in, and burn some calories and fat while you're sitting there doing nothing but watching TV. I also control very much what I eat. So what I did is I started using protein shakes. I got a very, very high-end collagen protein that has all of the different types of proteins, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. I get an unflavored one so that I can put it in unsweetened almond milk. So I just put 2 scoops of that into this thing, and I make my own little mix. This is unsweetened almond milk. It is 2 scoops of My Magic Mix. My Magic Mix is nothing more than the collagen peptide 2, 4, 5, 6, whatever. It's got all those little Roman numerals after it. And I mix instant coffee and unsweetened cocoa powder like your mom uses for baking. I mix those together and make a nice fine powder with that, and then it gives me a nice little pop of unsweetened chocolate. And cocoa is really good for you. And the instant coffee, of course, gives you that little mocha cocoa pop. So there is no added sugars. There's no creams. There's no honey. There's no flavoring. There's no fruits or vegetables. There's no ice creams or yogurts or any of that stuff to run up the calories and drive up the fats and the carbs, because carbs are really important to monitor. So in the morning for breakfast, I fill that sucker up. I don't know. It's got the little shaker thing in the bottom. I got 2 of these with the little shaker thingies for $10 off Amazon. These are absolutely stellar. They're super easy to mix. They do an excellent job. They clean up really well. And they're travelable. You can put them in the little thing in your car, It's really cool. So I fill that up, and that's my breakfast. Of course, I drink black coffee throughout the day because I'm addicted to black coffee. So I start my morning with that, and I do 2 scoops, a double scoop of that. And I also take a dose of collagen capsules as well. I take 3 of those capsules in the morning, and then I do a double scoop protein there in the almond milk. That's my morning, my breakfast. And in the afternoon, depending on how super hungry I am, if I'm starting to get hangry or headaches or something, I will have a meal at lunch. It'll be salad, vegetables with cream cheese or peanut butter on them, like celery and carrots, or I might have a sandwich or whatever. And if I eat a lot at lunch, I'll skip dinner. Or I'll have a small snack at dinner. The nice thing about not having all of these supplements and everything is that they don't upset your digestive system. And the one key thing I do is I add kidney beans to my meals. You can add dried kidney bean powder, loose powder, sprinkle it on your food. They make dry powdered capsules. You can take kidney beans, cans of kidney beans, rinse them off, sprinkle those over, or eat a couple tablespoons of kidney beans prior to eating or right as you're sitting down to eat. Kidney beans do not upset your stomach. They do not bloat your stomach. If they do, then you have underlying health problems or digestive issues that must be addressed. That's got nothing to do with the kidney beans. I keep the capsules on hand. And the key is that if you're going to sit down to a very carb-filled, fat-filled, sugar-filled meal, you take 3 of those capsules prior to the meal. They're easy, they're convenient. They're called white kidney bean supplement. You can buy them online. And it's nothing but dehydrated kidney beans, nothing else. No magic bullets, no hidden ingredients, no garbage, nothing. And you take it with that, and as you're taking it while you're eating, it blocks your appetite. So literally, you couldn't eat any more than maybe half of your meal, whether you like it or not. It's like a trap door on your stomach, and that shuts, and you can't get anything more down there, and you are satiated and you are full. And then you got leftovers. If you're at a restaurant and you're having a cheeseburger and fries, take your 3 capsules with you. Take them with water or whatever your beverage is prior to eating. And what it does is it absorbs some of the carbs. It won't absorb all of them, and it doesn't address sugar. But what it does is it goes into your lower intestine and it blocks the carbs from getting absorbed into your body. Because carbs equal sugar. Carbs turn themselves into sugar in your body. And so you have sugar, you have fat, all these calories, and now you've got carbs on top of it, which are turning into sugar. So the point of kidney beans is to get into that part of your intestine where carbs are stored and absorbed into your body as they're being turned into sugar. And you don't want that, especially if you have diabetes or pre-diabetes. I do not, but I know many people do. So I keep the kidney bean, dried kidney bean powder on hand in the capsule form. And if I know I'm going to go out to a restaurant, I'll make sure I have some capsules on hand. If I'm going to sit down and have, Friday night pizza night with Douglas, I'm going to limit myself to 2 slices and I'm going to take those kidney beans. They're not going to, they don't work on sugar, they don't work on fats, they work on carbs, but they don't work on all the carbs. So you will still get a portion of those carbs, but it's enough, especially if you mind your portions and you plan your meals for the day. Let me tell you something. It works on the appetite. You just cannot eat the normal amount of food that you thought you could. Whenever we go out to a restaurant, which isn't common, I mean, maybe once a month we'll go to a restaurant, I'm taking food home. I'm giving it to Douglas because I can't even eat a whole, meal anymore. So, protein powders in capsule form and loose form. Mine, of course, I make my little magic bullet with the cocoa powder, which is also unsweetened almond milk and the instant coffee. A generous amount of that. And using kidney beans and the dehydrated kidney beans. You can dehydrate kidney beans yourself. Get some cans, rinse them out, dry them up a little bit, put them in your dehydrator. I got a Ninja Flip. You can dehydrate them there. And then you can sprinkle them over your food, incorporate them in your food, take a couple tablespoons before you sit down to eat, whatever. I have never had 1 second of bloating or upset stomach or anything with the kidney beans. But kidney beans are food. You can grow them in your backyard. They're safe. They're very beneficial to you. And that I recommend as a supplement because everything else is a gimmick. Everything else has hidden ingredients that you shouldn't have. And it's been so beneficial to me that since starting them at Thanksgiving, I've noticed my appetite drop into about half. I can't eat sugar. Interesting trick with kidney beans and kidney bean supplements. When you incorporate them into your diet as part of a weight loss routine, after a while, you don't crave sugar. We keep pastries and cookies and candy around, because Douglas he has type 2 diabetes and sometimes he needs a shot of sugar, or we have gas or something. You keep that crap around, right? But I don't want it anymore. I don't have a desire for it. And I was going to have a cookie the other day because I love molasses cookies and we have molasses cookies, really good ones on hand. And I went to take a couple of bites of one and I had to put the cookie away. It's like, ugh. It just, the vibe wasn't there, So it works on the whole ball of wax, exercising, reducing the amount of food that you eat, using the kidney bean supplements, beefing up the proteins, lots and lots of proteins, and the protein shakes, the protein supplements. Of course, there's protein in the beans, high protein, low calories, working out every day, some form of workout every day, drinking lots of water, lots of fluids and so on. And I've lost my desire for that. And I know that people are addicted to carbs. We know they can be addicted to sugar. They can be addicted to carbs. And when you're addicted to these things, at first it's really hard. You get depressed. I mean, it's emotional. But after a while, they don't taste that great. You don't crave them as much. And when you do, it's going to be different. And that helps to just keep that spiral going down and down and down. So the protein and the fiber, because you do get a lot of fiber from kidney beans. And did you know you can also do that with like Metamucil, for example? It's pure fiber. You can put that in a glass of water and drink that down before you sit down to eat, and it will have the same effect. However, that's more of a laxative, so that might have a more of a irritation on your bowels and your stomach. You might have a little bit of stomach upset from that, but I know I can guarantee you, at least from my perspective, that kidney beans incorporated as a weight loss supplement to my food and to my diet has been absolutely mind-blowing, remarkable. So I recommend them. Safe and harmless. So we do have a lot of workout equipment. We have weight benches and different things. So I do incorporate some form of exercise every single solitary day. I incorporate high amounts of protein every day. I incorporate kidney beans into my diet every single day at every meal that's going to be robust with carbs and sugars and fats and different things. And another thing I do is there are very popular things that people do is they use devices. Now I have this Oura Ring here, and I believe I've talked to you about this before. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that a normal like smartwatch would have. You have to keep in mind that the more bells and whistles, the more features on those smartwatches, the less quality you're going to get on those features. They claim to be able to test your blood sugar and so on. And you really got to be careful with that, because if you think about the Libre devices and how they poke into your arm to get down below your skin and poking your blood for blood sugar, it doesn't add up for me that those devices can do that accurately and safely. So don't depend on those. I don't 100% depend on my Oura Ring, but it does really well. It tracks my workouts, it tracks my heart rate, it tracks sleep, it tracks stress, and it tracks steps. That's really important too, because walking is the single most important exercise you can do, because when you are walking, your arms are swinging, so you're getting some upper body and lower body, and your body is constantly needing to use its core to stay balanced and stable and flat on the ground. So whether you're walking on a treadmill or you're walking outside, walking is the single best form of exercise for everything: cardio, calories, weight loss, strength training, firming and toning, strengthening that spine and that core. Walking is incredibly important. So take advantage of it and give yourself those step goals every single day. And you can adjust with the Oura Ring the amount of steps. For example, Monday through Friday is a little different for steps than I would on the weekend when I'm out shopping or running a mall or different things like that. So you can adjust that too. So for me and super aging, it begins with being as healthy as I can be. And that starts with building that muscle through proteins, through working out, through all kinds of healthy habits that you add throughout the day. Because with strength, with building a body mass that is more muscle than fat, your bones will thrive. They will stay strong and healthy, because as we age, we slow down. And what happens when we slow down? When we slow down, we lose muscle mass. And when we lose muscle mass, there is nothing there to cushion and hold up your skeleton. And if you don't have any muscle to hold up your skeleton, your bones are going to dry out. They're going to get weak. They're going to get brittle. And then when you do slip and fall, you're not going to have the strength to hold yourself up to walk and do stairs and be active. So you're going to slow down even more. And then God forbid, if you get a broken bone, you're lucky if you recover from that. If you are in your senior years and you don't have the muscle mass to hold them up. Everything starts with building a body of solid, healthy muscle. More muscle than fat, and you achieve that by working out, and high protein, low fat, low carb diet. And the many things that you can do are, of course, getting good sleep, working out, some form of exercise every day, strength training and weight training, even if it's just the 3-pound weights like this while you're sitting at your desk. Build that muscle through activity and through high protein. Use safe supplements. Use your head with those supplements. And we'll get into those a little more at another episode, but use them safely and wisely. But kidney beans, we all got them in the pantry. You can buy supplements that are just nothing but dehydrated kidney bean in a clear little capsule. Those work as well. Incorporate those into your diet. Be mindful of what you're eating. And research the smart devices. These are not miracle cures for anything. They are helpful in helping you focus on the right aspects of your health. What it does is the Oura Rings, Smart Rings, and other devices, smartwatches, etc. The goal of those things is to reorient your focus on the areas of your health that need the most work and not the ones that don't. They also help you to start being more mindful of how many steps you take, to realize how active or inactive you really are during the day. So for me, my Oura Ring, my kidney beans, my high protein powders, high protein diet, low carbs, cutting back on the amount of food that I eat, and getting exercise every single day, those to me are the true keys. Not GLP-1s, not magic bullets, not gastric bypass, not some outlandishly priced program, but just the basic common sense. Because when you are healthy, when your body is at peak health, there's no aging that's going to stop you. And until next time, do good and be good.